Okay, Buddy Bud here with yet another video today. It's three in one day. I gotta hurry up before I lose my privacy. And this is gonna be my one exception. I don't care to talk about politics or anything. Uh, but I think in these extreme circumstances, I just have to say a few words about this whole situation. Uh, the George Floyd incident. First, I'm going to say the cop with the knee was wrong. He shouldn't have done that. I do not agree with that police officer in any way. However, you got George Floyd's brother. I want justice for my brother. Well, they arrested and charged that officer and the other officers, which so happened they were only on the job for a couple of weeks, and the officer at the knee was their training officer. So, you know, uh, if you start a new job and you got someone training you, you tend to put all your faith in what they're doing is the proper way of doing things, and you're afraid not to do what they tell you to do or have you do because you don't want to lose your job. So I don't know. That's pretty debatable, but I'm pretty sure the other ones will come out pretty much unscathed. The officer with the knee, that's another story. But but my complaint is they're making this George Floyd out to be a saint when he's not. He was on what, fentanyl and methamphetamines, which makes you incredibly strong, for one. Two, one thing the officer with the knee didn't recognize is that when you're coming down off those drugs, your organs and your body starts to shut down. Now, putting his knee on his neck accelerated that process, most likely. I don't know for sure, but there's a term for it. I can't think of the name of it, but I'm sure that's the main reason why that happened. And first of all, he lived a high risk lifestyle. Now, you gotta think about that. High risk. You know, what are you risking? You're risking your freedom, your life, everything. You know, I don't care if it was just a $20 bill. He's already been convicted of multiple crimes. One, holding a pregnant woman at gunpoint, and I think I read that he pistol whipped her. So I don't know why everybody's holding this individual in such a high regard. Yes, it's unfortunate that he died. I would have rather he lived. I wish he would have just complied and be done with it. And I just don't get it. You know, I can see some protest against that guy, but they arrested him and charged him. That's it. It should be over. Wait for the day in court. You know. And now we got this other individual. I can't remember his name, Raymond or something like that, at the Wendy's, where the video clearly shows him tossing two officers around like they're nothing. You know, punches one, steals their taser, runs away, turns around, aims, and I think he fired the taser probably too far away, and they shot and killed him. They're making him out to be a saint too. Then they burned the Wendy's down. And now they're showing stuff how he went to a birthday party and all this stuff. It doesn't matter. Well, he shouldn't die just for falling asleep in his car. He didn't fall asleep. He was passed out in the drive-thru. That means you're intoxicated. What if he ran over your kid? You know, which could easily done. Get in an accident, killed your kid or family. I just don't get it. I don't know why they created their own problem, and then they fired the officer. So everybody's getting sucked right in to all this, and you can't even say all lives matter anymore because that's racist. Everything's racist. It's just ridiculous. Why can't everybody just get along? You know, I saw the Grateful Dead over 30 times in my life, and when you were in that crowd, nothing mattered. Everybody was treated equally. It didn't matter. Everybody was nice to everybody. Why can't it be that way out? Not everywhere. You know, if someone needed someone at the Grateful Dead, you got it. You didn't have to ask. You know, no one cared where you came from, who you are, what you look like, your, you know, I can't think of the word right now. I'm getting old. My brain's dying on me, I think. Your sexual orientation, your gender orientation, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter at a Grateful Dead concert. I miss those days where you truly felt free. But this is ridiculous. Protests, riots, people tearing down, destroying property. And now you got that thing in Seattle where they're their own whatever, and they're the ones that were claiming open the borders, free borders, let everybody in, but yet they created borders and they're not letting everybody in. So what do you do? This country's just going bad. And this thing that everybody's a racist is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. You know? They've made a situation where no one can have their own opinion. It's either their opinion or no opinion. You know, it's just ridiculous. People are losing their jobs for having their own opinion, even just for saying all lives matter. And now they say all lives matter is just a cop out to justify racism. So I don't know what to do. It's just really terrible. And this George Floyd is no saint. You know, before you know it, next year there's going to be a national holiday, the George Floyd Day, and get a day off at work. You know, I mean, I just don't get it. It's terrible. I wish this never happened. And in every profession, there's going to be bad employees. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you work at the dollar store, whether you're a cop, fireman, anything, bus driver, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be bad ones, and they should be weeded out. Defund the police, that's stupid. What they should do with the police is get rid of the unions, because the unions are the ones that protect their jobs, and get rid of the unions, and then have a database, because you get these cops, they get fired from one department and they just go to another department. No big deal. They should have like the sex offender database where you get fired for brutality or anything like that, like what this guy did. It should be in a database, so when someone wants to get hired somewhere else, they can look in that database, look at them, say sorry, make them go work as a greeter at Walmart or something. Change, you know, shouldn't be allowed to be a cop. That's all they need to do. They don't need to defund the police. So I guess that's all I have to say about that. I hope I never have to comment on anything political ever again. We all know what I like to talk about, and this ain't it. So feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Hope everybody stays safe, and hopefully all this, we get back to some normalcy sometime soon. Buddy Bud, out.